Hello, welcome to another episode of Constitutionalist Podcast. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard. That's L-E-N-A-R-D. It looks French. It's not. It's Leonard without an O. Thank you for tuning in. As Graham Norton used to say on his show, let's get on with the show! Announcing Constitutionalist Podcast gear, CTP gear, or CTP wear, if you prefer. Headgear, like hats. Torso gear, apparel. Drink gear, mugs and glasses, and the sort. So, subscribe to CTP at tinyurl.com/subscribe to CTP. Get your CTP gear via tinyurl.com/CTP gear. And of course, get your Joseph M. Leonard Media manuscripts via josephmleonard.us/shop. And again, that's Leonard without an O. josephmleonard.us/shop. Joining me today is Teri M. Brown, author of 10 Little Rules for Double-Butted Adventure. This will be fun. And it's Teri M. Teri, T-E-R-I, M as in mediocre. It's a joke. It's a joke. Yes, her middle initial is M, though, but no, it isn't for mediocre. Brown, B-R-O-W-N. Welcome, Teri.
Thank you so much for having me. M is for magnificent. It's
Teri
magnificent. So just so you know.
Yeah. Well, see, and I joke with all my guests, but Teri and I know each other. I've been on her show. Have you been on my show yet before?
No, this is the first time. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were returning. See,
no.
350 episodes plus countless co-hosting, Savage Unfiltered, and countless as a guest on other shows. It's like I can't keep them all straight anymore.
I get it.
I'm like on 1,000 podcasts all over the internet currently. My own co-hosting and as guests. Anyway, we're not here to discuss me. Yes. Since this is your first time, even though I thought you were returning, explain to this audience the proverbial, as I like to joke, Christian joke, right? Proverbial first question. Where were you born and raised? Your Genesis story. Where were you born and raised? Where are you now? Significant places you've been in between, that sort of thing. Admit to you, how many years in jail for what?
Yeah.
Again, we're joking, people.
Yes, I was going to say, no.
But for the benefit of the transcript, we're laughing. That is a joke.
So I was actually born in Athens, Greece. My dad was in the Air Force. And so I was born in Greece. I did the major growing up years in Ohio. When I was 15, the middle of my freshman year in high school, my parents decided to move to North Carolina. At the time, I hated them for that. I could not believe that they had rooted me and just, taken me to this.
So you went from being a Buckeye to a Tar Heel.
To a Tar Heel. And really, so I moved in 1979, and we moved to the small town of Pinehurst, where the entire county had one stoplight. And I had been living in Canton, Ohio, where as a teenage girl, I could hop on the city bus.
Yeah.
Well, we would hop on the bus and head to the mall for the day. And that wasn't possible anymore where we lived. And so I really, really hated my parents. I could not believe they had done this to me. Yet, here it is, how many years later, almost 50 years later.
Oh, and you just doxed your age.
That's okay. I don't mind. But here it is. yeah, not quite 50 years later, and I'm still in North Carolina. So I absolutely love it here.
It
I'm
grew
now,
on you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm now on I live at the coast, and yeah, I love where I live. Um, there's been like all kinds of adventures in between, but North Carolina is definitely what I call home now.
All right. And keeping with the Christian puns, right? What was the genesis of the book?
Yeah, so it's called 10 Little Rules for a Double-Butted Adventure, and it is a memoir.
Do
But
I
it's
need
more
to put a PG-13 label on this show?
no, 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 no. So what it is it's really an inspirational memoir. And my husband and I rode across the country from the coast of Oregon to Washington, D.C. on a tandem bicycle. And this is life lessons I learned while doing this huge adventure. And for me, this was more than just, hey, look, this lady cycled across the US. At the time that I met Bruce in 2018, I had not been on a bicycle in 40 years. So when he said to me, I've always wanted to ride across the United States on a bicycle, I had been wanting to do a really big adventure. I wanted to do something that kind of proved that I wasn't done, that my life wasn't over. And I looked at him and said, so are you going to talk about this forever? Or are you actually going to do it? And he said, no, I want to do it. And I said, count me in. Well, that's crazy. I hadn't been on a bicycle in 40 years. And so about a year and a half later, we got on a tandem bicycle and rode across the United States. And I learned a lot about myself and life on that trip. And that's what this book
I
is.
hope you avoid. Well, I think it's safe to say you avoided Detroit. You're still alive.
Yes, yes, we did. We did go through where did we go through? We did go through Michigan, but we went up, we went UP and kind of over,
Oh,
and then we went all the way kind of down and around and then went through like Toledo, Ohio. So we just kind of did this whole loop around that way.
interesting. Thule
Yeah.
do, as we call
Yeah.
it here in Michigan. Thule do,
Okay.
Ohio. Yeah.
Oh yes,
So
truly
did you
do. Yeah.
stare at Mackinac Island from the Straits?
So we actually took a boat over and enjoyed a day there, and it was really
God,
beautiful.
isn't it
Um,
lovely?
it
Oh,
was, yeah, it was
anyone
absolutely
got a
gorgeous.
chance to visit Mackinac Island?
Yeah.
It's expensive,
Right.
especially
Yes.
if you book the Grand Hotel. But if you can manage to afford to book a stay at the Grand Hotel, where Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeves
Yeah.
and Jane Seymour was filmed, you really want to do it. Although, get get ready to roast. There's no
Yep.
air conditioning in that hotel.
So what we actually did was we stayed in a campground, took the boat over, spent the whole day there and enjoyed ourselves, and then took the boat back and stayed at the campground because we were, definitely.
Cheaper.
Yes. Well, and we were also doing this huge trip across the United States. And you certainly, every time there's something
That
beautiful,
had
if
to
you spent a
cost.
lot of money,
Yeah.
you have to kind of
Yeah.
like figure out where you're going to do it. And then, of course, being on a bicycle, we weren't allowed to cross that bridge. They used to let people ride across it, but not anymore. And so we
He had to
found some.
put the bike on a bus and
Well, we actually, it was during COVID. There were no buses. But
oh,
we found a very nice person at the campground with a big pickup truck, and they stuck the bicycle in the back of the pickup and took us across. So it worked out really well for us.
and the bicycle built for two thing also, since I mentioned Somewhere in Time as the movie. Oh, what a great movie. Have you seen
Yeah.
that movie?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another movie I highly recommend came out this year. You might still be able to find it in theaters or video on demand or streaming pay-per-view. Kevin James Solo Mio.
I've not seen that one.
Angel Film Studio
Yeah, yeah.
romantic comedy that came out around Valentine's Day. What a great, fun, funny, and a bicycle built for two
Oh
jokes
yeah.
are
Oh
built
good.
in. It's
Oh, I'll have to. Yeah, I'll have to go see that one then. That sounds good. Thank you.
oh, just the way my ADHD OCD brain works. It just oh, something
Ooh, ooh,
stupid. So
squirrel,
yeah, right.
squirrel,
Exactly. Up the movie, right? Squirrel.
squirrel, squirrel.
I
Absolutely.
love that movie too. What a great movie. Up. Yes. oh, anyway, now what book number? This is not your first book.
Oh no, no, no. So I have three novels that came out before this. Then I had a children's book that came out after this, and I have another novel coming out next month. So I'm just and
Well,
then
full disclosure, we're recording March the 25th. Don't
yeah,
know when this will air.
right.
So
So
when you
so the
saying next month, you mean April?
April. So
I
April 21st. April
oh,
21st,
okay.
I'll have a new one come out called Peg Unhinged. And then on top of that, I also have a short story in three different anthologies that are also out. So I have a wide range of things that I do when I write.
Yeah, I'm working on another right now too that I'm expecting will be a Kindle 99-cent short
Right.
story exclusive that I'm planning to release in May. I I don't want to release anything on April Fool's month. Really?
Oh
You were
no.
willing to do that?
Well, so here's the thing. It's called Peg Unhinged. It is about a woman who's going through menopause, and it is a very funny, tongue in cheek. It's set at the beach. We live at the beach, and starting in April
So,
is when everybody's coming here. I needed to
uh,
get it out. It
maybe it
had to
should
get
have
out.
come
So,
out on April 1st.
well, that potentially because Peg is kind of losing it a little bit, and that's why we call her Peg Unhinged. So
yeah.
it's a good funny story. I think people will enjoy it.
Yeah, my book, part of my life and living series, is going to be about loss. So I didn't want it to come
Didn't
out
want.
in
That's probably not it at
Valentine's
April. Yeah,
Valentine's month. Bad idea.
yeah,
April Fools and
yeah,
Tax
yeah.
month. Bad idea. So I would to
Went for
delay it
May.
to May. Yeah,
Yeah,
even though
yeah.
it's killing me because it's basically done. It's like I want to release it now, but patience is not one of my virtues.
Okay, okay.
Oh, so have you got a next in mind?
So I'm actually going to be at a
Don't
writer's
give a
retreat.
title, of course.
No, no. Well, and I don't
Ne-
have one. I don't have one. And the reason I don't have one is I'm terrible at titles. It takes me
ah,
forever to come up with a title. I write the whole book. I've done tons of editing and I'm still struggling with the title because titles are just to me, I don't
yeah.
know how you're supposed to sum up all that you've done in this tiny little title. It's very hard.
It's good to
Um
brainstorm with others what a title should be.
and
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 I suggest in how to write a book and get it published to like I'm the one in May I'm calling Loss as a working title. I
right. Oh, I
often
always
say,
have a working title, but it doesn't mean
yeah,
anything. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can be shared, but you never want to give away your real
Real
title
title.
until the book's ready to
Yeah.
drop.
So the one I'm a pantser. So I very much write by the seat of my pants, and I usually have like a very vague idea, maybe a character, not much more. So the one that I'm thinking of, it's a dual timeline. It's historical fiction and present day. There is something. It's called a kipu, Quipu. It is South
Never heard that
American.
word before. Yeah.
Okay, South American Inca, back with the Incans, they would take kind of like macrame knots and they would tie these knots. And for a long time, historians thought that it had to do with accounting, how many alpaca we had and how many,
Oh,
right? Well, I read an article about a year ago. They now believe that some of these kipu, that's what they're called, these knotted things, that they told stories, narrative stories. Oh, my mind just jumped on that. And
yeah.
so I have an idea of a modern day anthropologist. I have her as adopted, She knows that she is of South American ancestry, and because of that, gets into looking at South American type things.
Don't say too much more. We don't want to give story plot points
no,
away.
And I don't even know enough to do. Yeah, I don't even know enough.
Someone will run through AI and try to steal it ahead of you. Yes, exactly. Today with AI, cheaters. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of that, and then we'll be going back in time and also seeing the Tipu from that. So, I don't even really know where it's going, but I think it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited to sit down and just like see where my mind goes on this one. So
yeah, well, you use double butted in this one, so maybe it could be key poo poo.
Yeah.
Sorry, couldn't avoid the potty humor.
Probably not. Probably not.
No, you don't want to steal that from me.
No. I'll let you have that one. That's good.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
For the benefit of the transcript, again, we're laughing. This is fun. This is humor. You gotta keep a sense of humor, people. Oh, goodness. So I'm sure the people don't really care, but I do. How's the weather been?
I live in North Carolina on the coast, and we had, for North Carolina on the coast, a very cold winter. I'm sure it was nothing compared to what you went through. So we're not going to do a comparison, but just to give you an idea, I live on the coast of North Carolina. It typically does not snow here. If it snows, it is a dusting, and we typically see snow once every 15 years or so. I mean, it's just rare. I had almost 14 inches in my backyard.
Holy cow.
It was just, and then on the day that it finished snowing, typically here, it snows and the next day it's 60 degrees and it all melts. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Right. Well, we kept it was below freezing for 3 days. And below freezing, like the day it finished snowing, it didn't get above 24 that day. And it was just crazy. So the fact that it has warmed up and I have been walking out on the beach barefoot is just fabulous. So the weather here has been really nice. I'm happy for that. Yeah.
Today here, again, for the benefit behind the scenes, today we're recording is March the 26th. The temperature here is 60-ish, but we got thunderstorms rolling in. So
it is springtime. You should expect that in the spring.
Last week, or was it the week before? Recently, this month, the Upper Peninsula got 3 feet of snow.
Yes.
3 feet.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was after a day. A couple days before that, we had like a 70-degree day. We thought, relief, spring is here.
No, you always that's called faux spring, and then you get second winter. There's always second winter. So
we usually get second, third, fourth,
fourth winter. Yeah,
it could snow in June here. Yeah,
right.
And literally, it has in the past. I forget what year. I looked it up once. It literally in Michigan snowed in June in 18 whatever. That was a long time ago, but it's still possible.
When Bruce and I were riding across the United States, we were in Minnesota, and we typically stayed in campgrounds. But one night there, we stayed in a hotel, and they had one of these, like information things where you could read all about the area, right? Yep. And I'm looking at like what is considered normal for snowfall, right? And according to this thing, it is possible for it to snow in Minnesota in all but July and August. And I'm looking at it, and it is now like pushing toward the end of August. And I looked at Bruce and I said, let's get out of here.
I believe, sometimes memory gets fuzzy, but I believe I recall snows in August in Michigan. So
yes,
maybe not in July, but
Well, so I read that and it was like, yeah, we need to get out of here. Like it's time to start heading further south. We need to get where, we're not going to freeze to death. Because you certainly do not want to be riding a tandem bicycle in the snow. Like that is not something that I would recommend.
No, bad enough just in even chilly weather, or
Yes.
where the threat of, if not snow, just rainy days. The
Yeah, rain.
cold rain is bad enough.
We had quite a few rainy days. In fact, we started in Astoria, Oregon. We got started at the end of June. We had anticipated starting in May, but that was COVID 2020, and there was nothing open. We couldn't do it, and we had decided if we could start by the middle of July, that we would go ahead and go on the trip. And it was the end of June. We were able to go. Our very first day, it was about 55 degrees and it rained for the whole day. And so we were cold
Yeah.
and wet and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and we had just come from North Carolina where it was 85, and so here it is 30 degrees colder and rainy,
Yeah.
and we're on the bike and I'm
Welcome to
thinking,
Oregon. Yeah.
yes. And I was thinking, I don't know, maybe
Like,
maybe
is this
this isn't going to be as
Seattle?
much fun as
Right.
this is going to be
Yeah.
as much fun as I thought it was going to be. But so we hit several rainy spots. We got hailed on one time where we were out at a thunderstorm. It started hailing. Um, yeah, you kind of do what you have to do. And then
Yeah.
when we were in Minnesota, there was a day, actually 3 days in a row, where they said that the thunderstorms were coming through and they expected like 60-mile-an-hour straight line winds. And so we got a hotel and
Yeah. And
stayed
depending
because
on your state, like Michigan, if there's hail, you got to look for tornadoes.
yes, yeah. And so we just said we obviously do not need to be in a tent. We do not need to be riding our bicycle, and we do not need to be in a tent. And so we stayed somewhere. We actually we stayed next to a Walmart and across the street from a restaurant. And it was like perfect, everything we need. Food, other things that you need were great. And so,
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
rain would stop and it would kind of clear up for a little bit, and we would run to the store, get a few things, come back to the hotel. It would start pouring again. And it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is why we're glad we're not out in that. So,
Yeah. You're right close to me, a few cities over in Taylor, Michigan. There's a Red Roof Inn right off I-75 next to a Home Depot, a church, a couple of restaurants, and across from that is BJ's Warehouse and
right.
Menards. So yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's everything you need. That's well, and we
it's
often
all a stone's throw from Southland Mall, even. So
right, right. So that's kind of what we had to do as we were going across the United States. You have to remember it's COVID, so a lot of things that used to be open weren't open, and
yeah.
we took advantage of like the Dollar Generals. The number of times that we stopped in a Dollar General and figured out how are we going to eat. Well, let's see. We can have some of this and we can have some of this. We ate a lot of oatmeal because it's easy to heat up water. We ate a lot of trail mix kind of stuff where I would go in and I would buy
I would
different kinds
starve
of.
because I can't eat that stuff. I hate that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, but
No, but we would do things like I'd buy some dried fruit and then I'd buy some nuts and then maybe like Cheerios because that's a good thing to stick in a mix.
you
And
can't have
and
too many nuts, or there'd have to be a lot of
right,
those poo-poo stops.
yeah, no, no, no. And then like I
Too
like
much
chocolate.
fiber.
I always like
Of
chocolate, so
course.
I put a little bit of M&Ms in there too, and then you make up a
Yeah.
nice little bag of goodies that you can eat. And the other thing we did is whenever we would pass a grocery store, if they had a grocery store that also did like the roasted chickens, where
Oh,
we would go in and get a chicken. And when we stopped for the night, we would eat off of that chicken and then you'd have to throw away the rest. I mean, it's not, but we were hungry. We're doing a lot of bicycling. And so we would sit and pick on that
you were
chicken.
burning calories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we would pick on the chicken and then maybe we would have grabbed like a potato salad or something. And that would be
At
dinner
the
that night.
deli, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. And the one night that I loved it, we were in Montana, but we passed a Costco. And we went in and got one of their big pizzas. and tied it to the top of our trailer that we had all of our goodies in, and we tied it to the top. And when we got to our campground, we had pizza for dinner. So
Oh, that's good. That's good. Uh, I mean, like joking, you need to do a follow-up bicycling along Route 66 or something next.
wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. So what we actually did was the following summer, we rode up the coast of Maine, and we did about 300 miles along Maine and stopped at several different, I think 6 or 7 different lighthouses. So I called it my lighthouse tour. And that was enjoyable. I think what I liked about that trip was that it was so much shorter. We did, it was 2 weeks. We weren't trying to prove anything. We had already proven something. We already rode across the United States, and it was more just fun and enjoyable. Whereas the one across the United States, I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I went, but it was also very hard. And
Way too much work for me. No chance you'll catch me doing it.
Well, and there was a lot of, for me, it was internal pressure, but a lot of pressure to finish. Like I wanted to say that we did it.
A bucket list goal.
Yes, yes. But going up the coast of Maine, at any point, I could have said, yeah, I'm kind of done with this, and it would have been fine. I wouldn't have felt bad about stopping. And so that was a very different kind of trip. Yeah.
Okay. Well, time has flown as it usually does. You have a website people could find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's my name. It's TeriMBrown.com. That's TERIM Brown.com. There you can find everything. I've got some podcasts, all my books. You can sign up for my newsletter. All my social media links are there. Find my show.
I appeared on.
Absolutely. So it's all there. And so that's probably the best place. And then if you want to interact with me, I'm on all the different social medias. So you can go to any one of those once you know how to get there. And you can do that from my website.
All right. Thank you, Teri Magnificent Brown. I was tempted to do the mediocre joke again.
Tempted. I know, tempted.
My audience knows I can't normally pass on the tease and the joke, but I let it go this time. Well, no, actually, I didn't. I did actually repeat it anyway. Right. Right? Yeah, that's me. I just can't do it. I just can't let it go. Disney now I'll have in my ADHD, OCD brain the rest of it. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
All right. Take care. God bless, Teri. See you later.
Thank you so much. Bye now.
Life can be like an amusement ride, but not always amusing. Roller coasters, the life kind. Now available on Amazon.
Life isn't a straight line. It twists, it soars, it drops without warning. But it's in those heart-pounding moments, the climbs and the falls, that we discover who we truly are. Roller Coasters, The Life Kind, a book by Joseph M. Leonard, available now on Amazon.
Joseph Leonard, stand up for what is right. Loves God and shares his message every day and night. Believes in freedom and making his voice heard. Shared his message over all the earth. God loves you, Joseph, for all you do. Stand strong and God bless you.
Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help. Thank you for having tuned into another Constitutionalist Podcast show. I really appreciate that you stopped by. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We need you to help spread the Constitutionalist movement. Thank you again. Take care. God bless. Love you all.